beer in my fridge. Sorry about that. I'm gonna read a couple lines from this poem. Dried maple and ash bark, lush emerald flats. The fall-colored arena hark, the wide superior mats. Encircled my life, the open space speaks. Let me end the strife.
What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Sorry my screen is really bright. I forgot to turn on my basement lights, and I'm on this like very bright white screen, so sorry for the spotlight on my face. So I have a pretty big announcement, and I'd like to see some more people join before I discuss. But just kind of off topic of the normal daily analysis, I wanted to kind of give you guys a little update on what myself and for those of you guys that know Castillo Trading, I've been working on a trading bot, like an algorithm, with another third-party, I guess, company, and they have 5 years of data, profitable data. I believe they return about 10 to 15%. Average monthly return for the last 5 years. So I'll give a deep dive in a moment. But first things first. What's up, Dorian? Steezy? Peter? Luke? What's up, Yasser? How's it going? Yeah, I'm doing good. I just want to give a minute for people to join because I know people are going to join and then be like, what's the announcement? I wasn't here. So I'm streaming a little bit early today. I have to go to the store, and honestly, I want to go to the store before rush hour hits. Just for me, I don't know if you guys, I don't know when you prefer to go to the store, but I don't want to go when everyone's there. So I'm trying to stream a little early, and then I got to go get stuff. What's up, B? How's it going, man? So we'll give it another minute or so. Actually, while we're giving that minute, I will go over, I'll go over S&P, DXY, and the total charts. And then right before we go into Bitcoin, I'll discuss the kind of announcement again for those of you that just are just joining, I'll get into it. But for those of you that just heard, I'll give you the more details soon. Yeah, rush hour does suck. And, dude, your average driver here is terrible. Like 3 out of 10. So I prefer to not. Plus, I hate waiting. Like, I'm the most impatient person ever. Which is shocking that I'm a swing trader and I'll wait for entries. But aside from that point, I hate waiting in traffic. And it's 90 degrees outside. And I'm an asshole, so I never have my air conditioning on. I have my windows open. I'm just sweating and pissed off. When I lived in Miami, Florida, when it was like 100 degrees outside, that was even worse. You go to the store at 1 in the morning. I mean, that's not a bad time to go. But, so I just finished my private analysis today. I had to do it later. But, for those of you that are part of that group, unfortunately, a lot of the stream you just heard. So I do apologize. But just stick around for another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll go over this announcement. If you're in my Discord, you already know what I'm about to say. But for any of you that maybe you just didn't get a chance to read it, or you're not in the Discord, but by the way, it's free. We'll get into that. But SPX, ultimately, guys, I think we need to go sideways for a little while, at least 4 to 6 more weeks, create bullish divergences. I mean, maybe throughout all of November or until November, September. But we have bearish divergences in the forms of lower highs in RSI and higher highs in price. I think that there needs to be a sort of consolidation to handle these divergences and really allow for the macro market structure to continue going up. Because when there's not confluence, right, Bitcoin's not going to break out. And this is what I was tweeting last week and talking about all of last week was, we're likely going to get this liquidation wick on the daily. And why? And a lot of it's because there was no chart confluence to break out. The dollar was bouncing off support. Or I thought I heard a phone going off. Anyways, the dollar was bouncing off support. All of your equity charts have bearish divergences. Bitcoin had low volume. Bitcoin dominance looks exhausted. There was there wasn't like a key pointing in the right direction for Bitcoin to break out. So that's why I was like, hey, we're probably going to have this liquidation wick. And lo and behold, we had it, right? We had a 5% dump. I know a lot of alts dumped quite a lot. Kind of unfortunate, but guys, a reminder, it's not alt season. So kind of back to my point, bring in some consolidation. Could happen, by August, could happen by July. But we need to consolidate, sort these kind of bearish divergences on the daily and especially on the weekly chart, create bullish divergences in the form of lower lows in RSI and higher lows in price. So the DXY, and now that we're kind of a week past, in my private analysis, these were all of the kind of things we were discussing. So equities were not ready to break, right? Bearish divergences. And this is, sorry, I'm taking a step back. Basically what we were talking about was, why is Bitcoin not ready to break out? And these were all the reasons why. Yes, they're obviously higher time frame bullish, right? We are very much on the page of this is a macro bull market, but in the short to midterm, Bitcoin is not ready to break out yet, and here's why. And again, you had your equity charts having bearish divergences. The dollar was holding support, which again, it just bounced. Total, Bitcoin, and really all the total charts need to create volatility. Same with Tether. Yes, you are higher time frame bullish on crypto, meaning Tether dominance is technically bearish, but we need more volatility for that breakdown. We're also in a historically slow period for during the market. There's not a lot of volume. There's not going to be legitimate breakouts. And then for Bitcoin, we had low volume, Bitcoin dominance showing exhaustion. And realistically, if you think about this, if Bitcoin dominance is showing exhaustion, why would Bitcoin make a dominant move? Right? Like, why would Bitcoin break out? So DXY here, we're bouncing. I'll be honest, I don't really have a short to midterm view on where this could go yet. For now, I just see the possibility of a double top, so we're going to eyeball this. Ultimately, I'd like to see 104 break, but my kind of longer time frame view, guys, eventually this thing is going to move higher. as we will get some kind of macro market recession, depression, whatever you want to call in the next couple years. So real quick, actually, we'll go to Tether dominance and then we'll do the announcement. So Tether again, with all our reasons, just so you guys can see them. I don't believe that Tether was ready to continue down yet. Yes, we do have bearish divergences, so ultimately we are macro bearish, which again gives us more confidence to be macro bullish on Bitcoin. However, on our daily, we actually created these kind of midterm bullish divergences with higher lows in RSI and equal lows in price. Again, why we got the bounce last week amongst the other 10 reasons I just showed you. And with that said, our Bollinger Bands are still very spread apart. I'd like to see these kind of close the gap, close the distance, create more volatility so that we can get a macro move to the downside. And again, more consolidation here. All you'd be doing is creating a bear flag. So ultimately, not the worst problem in the world. We want to see a macro breakdown. We want to see more consolidation because ultimately, guys, the more consolidation you have, the bigger the move will be in the end. So real quick, I'm going to switch over. It looks like some more people joined. So, morning, SS. How's it going? So real quick, going to switch over. I kind of titled the stream that there's a big announcement, and there is. So I'm going to give you guys the kind of, I guess, the easy breakdown, and then we'll get kind of into the details. So Castillo Trading and myself, about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, we're talking about trading algorithm, right? Like a trading bot that automatically trades for you. He has a close friend, and I've become friends with him, and we've tweaked the system a little bit to, one, give us kind of a better idea of risk management. I mean, the bot already had great risk management, but we want to be able to really hone in on reducing risk, reducing losses, and increasing the average return or average monthly return. So what this is a trading bot. It makes, dozens of trades every day. It returns an average, or it has returned an average of about 10 to 15% per month on average over a 5-year time period. This year it's up 70%. Just to kind of give you, again, very small, without getting too much into details yet, kind of statistics. Here's 2024 so far. With any sort of investing, guys, there's going to be up and down months. So you're going to see some down months if you're into this, but the returns on this have been phenomenal. And this is part of the reason why we've kind of teamed up with this third party to implement this bot and offer it to a lot of you guys for free, right? Now, yes, you'd have to use it through Coincatch, and I apologize. We're going to try and get it on different exchanges, but you don't have to pay for it. It's a lot of these trading bots you have to pay like $10,000 to $20,000 a month for, and we're offering it to you guys for free. So 2024, pretty solid performance. It's up like 50%. It's absolutely insane. Just to give you guys year by year, 2023, I believe made about 78% if I do my math correctly. Now, yes, again, there's going to be down months, but the up months are exponentially higher. And even still, your down months really aren't that bad. Yes, minus 10% sucks. But overall, you're walking away with a yearly gain of 78%. Here's 2022, only 3 down months. Kind of average, you're in the 10% range per month. I believe overall, you're still looking at a 50% gain, pretty substantial. Anytime. I really enjoy going live, so I don't get really paid for it, but I enjoy this. So anything that helps you guys, I'm trying to do. And then 2021, and again, pretty solid year. I believe this is around the 10% per month, maybe 7 to 8% per month. But guys, even still, an 8 to 15% gain per month, right? Multiply it by 12. You're looking at around 70 to 120% per year. That's absurd. Okay, there's not many opportunities in the financial world where you can use this and take advantage of this without paying an absurd amount of money. Like, there are real estate investments that I'm in that return 30 to 40%. This is over like a 5-year period, so it's like 40% per year. But the only way you can get into that is with an initial investment of 250 grand, right? You have to be above, and you have to be an accredited investor. I mean, there's different levels to getting into stuff like that. This, guys, you could put $500 in here. Like, there's no requirement. There's no, I mean, there's like a sign up. You got to sign up and set and basically, I'm doing it through copy trading, right? I'm going to, and I'll get into those details, but there's not this like extravagant list of things you need. You literally just deposit money and the bot will run. In guys, for the last 5 years, it's been nothing but green. When I first saw this, I was kind of blown away, and I love this stuff. I'm really interested, and Castillo and I have tweaked it a bit. We've put in a couple different kill switches and a couple different risk measures. So we're very, very excited for this opportunity. Here's 2020. Again, you're looking at 10 to 15%, and probably not 15. You're looking at about 10% per month. I mean, again, that's, I believe this year it returned like, 2020, it returned like 90%. I mean, that's literally doubling your money. It's absurd. And you don't have to do anything. Here's 2019. You know, again, you had one red month in 2019. In 2020, you had one, I guess two. You had to break even, but one red month. And then 2018, when they first started. Now, granted, a lot of this is tweaking. You had one red month initially, but started off, ended the year pretty well. So, is it early access for the old supporters? So it's really access for anybody. So here's what's going to happen, guys. In the next week or so, and Castillo and I are finalizing this kind of, I guess we'll call it a project. We're finalizing this project with this third-party team. We're nailing and constantly kind of trying to figure out. And by the way, this thing is going to adapt further over time, right? We're not just throwing it out and this is what you get. Our goal is to increase that average monthly return, and still very solid risk management, right? It's already got great risk management, but we're trying to increase it further. Like, how can we really hone in on this? Are there any other kill switches we can put in? How can we maybe shut it off in times of extreme volatility? Or like, for example, the FOMC event. If we know that FOMC is tomorrow and we're going to get this crazy volatility, and you guys remember, like, this trading bot, basically you're trading in a range. So real quick, let me just grab like a white sheet. So essentially a bot, I'm being spammed. Okay, so think of a bot. Oh, whoops, I need a darker color. So a trading bot, when price does this, it's going to short here, take profits here, long here, right? Take profits here, open a short, right? In a perfect world, right? I don't, you guys know the market does this, but in a perfect world, it's going to do this. Let's say for FOMC, right? We know that FOMC, we're going to do this, right? For events like that, we're trying to implement one, instead of us having to manually turn it off, is there a way we can hook it up to the calendar? Like, if we know there's a major event, we'll just shut it off, right? Because this is where you lose on a trading bot. Essentially, you're going to lose on both of these trades, which again, you're going to lose overall, and it takes out that, it takes out your total gains for the day or for the week or for the month. So for events like this, we're trying to just cut it off, and I know the argument is, but what if you make a bunch of money from it? Like, what if it longs here and it just sells it up here and doubles your gain? Well, that's always a possibility, and it's an opportunity. But for the most part, when you know that there's going to be an event like FOMC tomorrow with interest rate decision, the market's going to do this. It's just better off to just avoid the whole thing. So again, we're going to constantly be working on this, constantly be implementing better strategy, and that's just one of the many strategies we're trying to employ. But let's just keep moving on. So here's how this is going to work. I am opening a copy trading account with Coincatch. It is going to be directly linked to this trading bot. If you would like to use the trading bot, one, you need to sign up with Coincatch. They're non-KYC. You can use it if you're in America. The second thing, you'll get 15% off fees, right? There are still trading fees when you do copy trading. Yes, you're going to make money, but yes, there's a fee. Two, overall, this thing's been very profitable. Again, it makes close to 70 to 120% per year. It's pretty absurd. But I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. But yes, there are fees, right? But you guys know with trading, there's always fees. Even when you're swing trading or day trading, there's fees. So it really doesn't change anything. It's a high volume trading bot. But again, if you're making, let's say you make 100 grand, right? And I guess bad example. A lot of us don't trade with millions. I don't even trade with millions. So let's say in a month you make $3,000, and let's say you pay $500 in fees. Okay, so after, because there is a little bit of profit sharing, guys. I am making a little bit of money off this. I won't lie. There's a 10% profit share, right? That's kind of where I'm getting paid, right? So let's say, and that's the other good thing, guys. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of leaning off in different directions. The way that Castillo and I are getting paid is by performance-based payment. If this thing is not performing and it's not making anyone money, we're not making any money. So long as this thing is making everybody money, yes, there's a profit share. I get 10% of your profits, right? So let's say you make $3 grand. You paid $500 in fees. Okay, you're walking away with $2,500. We take 10%. I take $250 from you, and you're walking away with $2,250 for literally doing nothing. All you had to do was deposit money, get into my trade or copy trading thing, and just sit. And this is a great opportunity for those of you that are swing traders like me. When the market's doing absolutely nothing like it's doing now, you can just move your trading account in there, let it trade, make some money off it, and then take that money and trade with it. Or you could do both. You could have 2 accounts set up. That way, your money's always working for you. So real quick, I'm just going to look if there's any questions real quick, just so I can keep up with everything. What is the average daily drawdown? I believe it's listed here. But honestly, I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you on that. Unfortunately, I don't see it here, but I can answer that for you. Let's see. And then we have like winners and losers. It's got I believe it's a 55% winning rate, which is pretty solid. I mean, even just seeing the daily, you're winning more than 50% of the time, which again, guys, this is something that's returning a couple percentage points a month, which adds up over the year. Like really, to me, this is a long-term investment. So, yeah, I don't really see at the moment. And another thing, this trades Bitcoin and Ethereum. It doesn't trade shit coins and memes. It's only Bitcoin and Ethereum. So no summer alt season then. That's not, we haven't even gotten to that part of the analysis. So hold off. If it's trading in a range, does it mean that marginal range, that it's a marginal range trading bot? To some degree. So by the way, there's 3 different options in this algorithm. There's a risk. So this is like the lower risk, right? There's a low risk, a medium, and a high risk, right? The high risk you could lose 20% a month, but some of the data by the way, the data on the high risk, it's still all profitable. You might have a month where you make 150%, but then the next month you could lose 30%. So it's one of those things where I would much rather have my money here. You know, it's over time. If I'm doubling my money that's in this every year, I'm happy with that, right? That 70% a year on, you know, you put 10, 20, 50, 100 grand in, that's insane. You're not going to find a better investment than that. So are you using it mainly on Asian systems? No, it runs 24/7, I believe. We can tweak it. We can change. So I guess this is the hours during the day, and it's making a ton of trades, right? So, I mean, it's a high volume trading bot. So it's going to trade a ton. And maybe you have to remember per trade after paying the fee and everything, you know, what if you make like 0.2% on a winning trade, right? And then it makes 10 or 20 of those. Now you're walking away with, what is that, like 1 point whatever percent for the day. You have to remember it's over a month, so it adds up over time. That's wise. You can test it Wednesday since it's FOMC. So yeah, we're kind of deciding just to, like, we're gonna run like the actual bot, and we're gonna see if we can copy it. And for the days that we have FOMC, then we can test. And if like the one that's not running people's money just completely gets screwed, right? Then we're not gonna, we're gonna probably just close out on those days. I have an automated system that does the same. If you want to exchange some ideas, you can catch up with me. Sure. Yeah. No, just DM me on Twitter. 10% is really, really great. I've had my experience with copy trading. They also are around 30% with crappy bots. Not close to this. Yeah, I mean, look, Castillo and I are trying to be fair to you guys and fair to ourselves. I mean, for one, you guys are taking the risk and kind of trusting our bot, right? You're trusting the fact. Now, granted, we have 5 years of data that speak volumes. And really, of recent months, Castillo and I have been tweaking, and we're starting to see better results. So, but we have to be fair to ourselves. Like, we can't just do nothing. And we're paying these guys, right? We're paying this third party because they're also tweaking it. Guys, I don't know how to program a trading bot, but I know how to tell a programmer what I want in that bot, whether it be in regards of different indicators that I want triggered, or whether it be, hey, on these days of the year, just turn off the bot. Let's say, for whatever reason, like Memorial Day is always just a very volatile day. Like we see just some crazy movement. I don't know what it is. I've just noticed that Memorial Day for some reason. Well, so for like something like that, shut it off. FOMC, shut it off, right? Those are things that a programmer might not know that Castillo and I know, and we're constantly adjusting. Sounds ideal for this. Would be great to reduce screen time. Yeah. So just deposit your money and let it run, or how does it work? Yeah, I mean, essentially it's just trading for you. And this is, again, the reason why Castillo and I are doing this, especially myself. I'm a swing trader. For any of you guys that have taken my trading class that watch me trade, I'm not trading all the time, right? I make like 20 to 50 trades a year, depending on setups, depending on market environment. I mean, I'm just going to go quickly to this chart, right? You open up Bitcoin. Like, what do I do with this? Like, I'm not trading this. Like, for the last couple days, I can't do anything here. I can't really do anything here. There's not a clean setup. In here, this is just a bunch of chop. I mean, for like 3 days, we did nothing. So, yes, on the bigger picture, maybe I'm long, but in a bigger picture, you got this clean inverted head and shoulders, whatever. You long again the neckline, but in between these periods of sideways, I mean, we've been moving in this range since May 20th. It is June 10th, right? It's been 20 days. Maybe I have a trade running, maybe I don't, but I'm not really making any money, right? I'm not taking profits or anything in this range. So for me, this is an opportunity to let my capital always be working for me, right? I can put, I don't know, whatever amount I want, and my money is always working for me. Guys, the goal in finance and financial independence, you want your money working for you all the time. You don't want a stack of cash just sitting in the bank not doing anything. You want your money working for you all the time. So again, kind of back to the bot, this is an opportunity for a, somewhat long-term investment with huge returns. I mean, this is, out of all the bots I've seen, this is the best one by far. Between risk management, between just stacks of years of gains, between all of the analytics, between the team that's working on it. And again, you guys have Castillo and I constantly implementing and constantly tweaking. And again, I gave you the example of just cut it during FOMC and experimenting and whatnot. So this is a project that I would say, like, I'm not putting, I want to make it seem like I'm putting all my time into. It's not what I'm doing, but this is a project that I'm putting time into and trying to make it the best for you. And again, I'm excited about it. I think this is one of the coolest bots I've ever seen in terms of just the volume that it generates, how many years it's been consistent The win rate, it's got one of the best win rates I've ever seen. I don't know. I love this stuff, and I love that there's a team that I can tell them. I'm just like, hey, do this, and they do it, right? It's, hey, we need a kill switch for XYZ dates during the year. How can we implement like a system to just kill it? And they'll do that. It's really cool. All right, that's the announcement. Guys, I posted this data script in my Discord. You can go ahead and look if you haven't seen it. It's under the announcements tab. More to come. I'll probably be talking about this a little bit more this week. Again, we're planning to roll this out this or next week. We're kind of finalizing a couple things. But just with anything, and I just want there to be clear, like no, like smoke and mirrors and bullshit. Guys, this is an investment. Not every investment is profitable. And just because there are past results does not mean there will be future returns. Okay, I say that because I don't want one of you, and I know there's going to be a couple of you that do this, that take your entire net worth and put it in this bot, and let's say that bot for that month drops 10%, and then you lose 10% of your money. I don't want that to happen to you. Be proportional. Maybe add to it as you start seeing progress. Make sure that you're consistently seeing data. And this is really just to safeguard you guys, because I can't predict whether July is going to be a red or green month. Now, based on data, right, we've been green overall. We've been doing very, very, very well consistently. But month to month, if you're a month-to-month person, there's going to be red months, and you have to accept that. Again, I look at this more on the year time frame. I know this is by month, but I see it by year. Like by year, we're making gains, right? By month, that can fluctuate a little bit, but I just don't want there to be, I don't want someone to be like, I lost so much money in July because you told me to do this. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you to be risk savvy. Don't put all your money into it at first, right? Start to see those gains, start to get a cushion under yourself, and then slowly add to it, right? Just like with anything. And that's really just to help you guys, right? Yes, you know, I want to make as much money as I can from this. I'm personally putting probably, so what, okay, and I'll give you my plan. I would like to have $100,000 into this by the end of the year. So probably each month I'll put 20 grand in. If, you know, what I'd really like to do is turn that 20 grand into 40, right? Try and get 100% gain. That way I'm only putting another 60 in. Right, that way I have a nice $20,000 cushion, if you're following the math. And I'm more of like a drawing person, but I guess I can draw, but I won't. My point is, cushion yourself. Don't go too crazy at first, because we could have a, you know, just like with June right now, we could be down, you know, we could end this month down 7%. And I don't want you guys to get killed on that if you put a ton of money in. But anyways, that's the announcement. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me, either on Discord or on Twitter. I will post a full like announcement. You know, how do you get into it? But I will bring this up, and before we get back to Bitcoin and wrapping up the stream, if you sign up with my referral link, you get 15% off fees, which means that you are making more money and paying less in fees. While you're using this bot, you actually make 15% more money per month. Well, you'd lose 15% less on the fees you pay. So you're retaining. Sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. You're retaining 15% more because again, it's going to be fee driven, right? There's a lot of trades. But anyways, you know, if you have any questions, let me know. More than happy to answer them. If you're not interested, that's fine too. But I think this thing is really cool. So let's get into Bitcoin. I'm just going to summarize very quickly and kind of back to the FOMC thing I talked about earlier. Guys, we're probably not going to move at all until interest rate announcement tomorrow and Wednesday. So as much as I want to look at a daily and give you an answer, we're in between. I tweeted this. We're in between resistance and support with not a lot of keys lower to mid time frame on where direction is. Now, I will say higher time frame's bullish, but lower to medium time frame, I mean, we could easily revisit support, and I'd like to. I'd like to get another crack at a reversal pattern in support. I think that'd be healthy. I think FOMC is literally going to make us do this, or vice versa, where we do this. Either way, I would personally, I would stay out of trades. It's going to be volatile tomorrow. There's not a lot of volume. There's going to be some market movement for sure. I'm in looking for something like that for some time. Test some, but seemed very risky. Best strategy, get some crypto profits and rotate in a bit. Yeah, rotate to the spot. Yeah. You're going to send a link with instructions. Yeah, I'll provide a tweet. And so I'll provide the sign up on Coincatch, right? The sign up link. And by the way, it would help greatly if you made an account now on Coincatch, right? With the link that's provided, you get 15% off fees, right? Yeah, and the bot's going to have a lot of fees, so this will help you a lot. But either way, sign up now. When it's ready, I'll give a full, like, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you get into the bot. It's pretty easy. You just go to copy trading, search my ID, and then you hit copy. But I'll pull up Coincatch and show you guys just in case. So all right, let's look at the 1 hour. Again, we're in the middle of the range. Guys, there's not a lot to talk about today in terms of direction. Lower to medium. Higher time frame, we know I'm bullish. We know that the chart's bullish. We know there's bullish divergences on the weekly. Just to answer any questions, no, on the daily, this is not a double top. Right? This is not a double top. I know price has hit resistance twice, but I wouldn't consider this a double top. And part of the reason is because we're consolidating once again. And really to confirm a pattern, you have to break that neckline anyways. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would like to see this range more. Again, we talked about volatility building and whatnot. But yeah. Let's move into Bitcoin dominance and then I'm going to wrap it up, guys. So someone asked, is there going to be no alt summer? So I actually have kind of a devil's advocate response to there might not be an alt summer, and that comes in the form of consolidation at this point. If dominance continues to consolidate here, we won't likely see an alt summer, right? We won't see that liquidity shift from Bitcoin to alts. And again, that wouldn't be the end of the world. Excuse me. Bitcoin pumping with Bitcoin dominance means that the next time we do see that liquidity shift, alts are going to moon, right? We're going to have a crazy alt season. So again, even with the kind of alt summer idea, it's not an alt season. It's just a liquidity shift between like Ethereum, Link, and maybe some of the AI coins. I'm not expecting most of the market to do very well anyways. Or at least altcoins. I'm not expecting altcoins really to do anything until that true liquidity comes from Bitcoin. And again, that would come when Bitcoin's like at 100 to 120K, in my opinion. We'll see. And kind of to finalize here, if we continue to consolidate here, we're sorting all these divergences. And again, in the form of now you're creating bullish divergences, likely to see that higher. So kind of a devil's advocate response. Now, if we break below and start closing below 54%, then yes, we will likely have that kind of alt time in the summer. Again, it's not alt season. It's more of just like a small little alt gain. And again, a lot of that comes from 2020. If you need to refresh yourself, just go look at Ethereum in 2020 post when Bitcoin pumped to like 12,000, between like 9 to 12,000. All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream there. If you have any questions on the bot, just DM me. I'm super excited for it. I think it's one of the best opportunities I can give you at the moment. Again, I'm putting a lot of time into it, so hopefully we see some great results. But anyways, with all that said, be patient, users management.